What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. It's been a while, so I apologize for that. Yeah, we're back. We're trying to get back into the swing of things, and I wasn't expecting to have to kind of break away from the cycle so quick, but um, things happen. God moves, and you just gotta gotta go through some stuff, I guess. But yeah, we're back. I'm excited to be back. There's a lot to talk about. My plans for recording got pushed back even further, so um, kind of works out because there's even more stuff to talk about now. So yeah, first thing I will mention the email. Make sure if you have any questions about teams or any faith questions, whatever you may want to talk about or you want brought up on the channel, just make sure to go send an email. Obviously, you can send a DM on Instagram, whatever, but I just prefer it to be in the email. So yeah, if you're interested in sending in questions, I would love to start making that like a normal thing on the channel. So yeah, feel free to send in questions and all that. I feel like I always forget to plug that at the beginning of the show. So by the time I say anything about it, it's like after most people would click off. So yeah, if you're interested, go ahead and send an email. Um, I don't think we're gonna waste too much time here. We're just gonna just gonna jump into it. So let's do it. I'm sure some of you have noticed I have not been here for um, about a week and a half or so. Man, it's been. I don't even really know how to explain. It's just been a crazy, crazy week and a half. So much sports stuff going on that I feel like I was missing out and gotta catch up again. Um, but yeah, I mean, God moves, and sometimes you just have to go with it. I was just super busy. Yeah, some work trips come up that I had to take, which kind of fit right into the middle of my schedule and made it like kind of hard for me to get anything done because while I was traveling on like Tuesday and Wednesday, and then like Wednesday, Thursday of this week, so it's kind of yeah, it's kind of tricky to plan around that for starters. But then, yeah, for me personally, it's also been very crazy. Aside from my work trips, just some some new doors opening and trying to figure it all out. Um, but yeah, I mean, there's also if you saw the last episode, it was really bad. I was a wreck. That was last week was not a good week. I was um, I was extremely out of it. Just the whole time. I just was dealing with a lot of anxiety. Really, it's yeah, it was not fun. Um, but you have to. I think it's just it really came down to getting outside of my comfort zone more than I've really ever had to. And I'm somebody that does not like to move outside of that box, and it's definitely challenging, especially in the aspect that I did have to do it. And this is going to be super vague because I'm not trying to like leak any information or I don't know, whatever you want to call it. Um, but yeah, it's definitely scary, but um, I think it helps knowing that God wants you to move in a direction, and all the anxiety and doubt is kind of. I feel like the more it increases, the more you know you're doing the right thing, um, and it's kind of just up to you to push past it and um, go get what God's telling you is there for you. So yeah, but we're here, and it's definitely getting better. Well, it's I'm not. I feel fine now, but the anxiety was definitely there for a while, for sure. So yeah, it was definitely a rough stint there, but we're back. And things are going great. So I'm excited to finally jump back into the podcast and um, hopefully working on some things. I want to try to try to do some new stuff along with just our like regular series. You know, like the this will be like the mainstay. Like this is Monday. I guess I shouldn't say like Monday and Friday or Tuesday and Friday, because like if I get them done and they're edited and ready to go in time, I'll just put them out the night before I originally wanted to put them out. So it doesn't really. I guess it's not really like a set thing. It's just kind of whenever it gets done. So yeah, obviously it hasn't been done for a while. So I apologize about that. But we're here. We're back. I'm not going anywhere. So um, yeah, I'm excited. I don't know. We can kind of cut it short here. I don't really have any like anything to share. I don't know. I didn't really plan too much. There's just a lot of sports that have been going on. So you got the draft and the playoffs and stuff like that going on right now. So it's just I feel like it's got to be very sports heavy to start at least. So I think we also might have a shorter episode just because I just kind of I don't know. There's just a lot to talk about. I might not take enough time to talk about everything that needs to be talked about. So who knows? I don't know. We're just gonna go. I don't have a lot written down for this either. So we're just gonna jump into it and see how long we go. Not every episode is gonna be perfect. If it was, that means Jesus was making this podcast, but he's not. So it's not gonna be perfect. Um, so yeah, let's just jump into sports. So I feel like I don't really know which direction I want to take here. Maybe we'll just kind of cover the draft because I didn't have anything written down for the draft. Um, I just I don't know. It is what it is. I don't think this class is anything crazy. Obviously, I think I was very upset after round one. We took an offensive tackle. I really wanted Cooper DeJean or Kool Aid McKistry, and that didn't happen. So I was very not happy. And then by the end of the first round, when I realized they both were still there, I was like, okay, well, this might work out. And then we proceeded to not get either of them. Um, but Edrin Cooper looks like a monster. So I'm excited about that. And once we drafted the linebacker, I was like, well, we kind of did need a linebacker, probably just as bad as a corner. On the gaps. Um, I did really want Bo Melton's brother, but we didn't get that. That's okay. Whatever. Um, we have what we have, and that's it. Um, I didn't see. I just kind of thinking about this on the fly. I don't know if Blake Corum got drafted yet, which is kind of crazy. I think he's going to be the first running back off the board, and I think he's still on the board, which is kind of crazy. Um, but yeah, I don't know. And then as far as like your top 10, uh, I don't know. Caleb Williams, whatever. I don't. I think he's going to be a bust. It could just be me talking bias, but I felt I was saying this in during the college football season. I don't know what it is about him that all these scouts go crazy over because I don't. He was not. I just, like. I'm not saying he wasn't good. He just wasn't. He wasn't what everybody like is making him out to be. I just don't understand where it's coming from. Like I don't know. I don't know. It's fine. Whatever. Everybody knew that was coming. And then Jaden Daniels at second. Um, he's a guy that I could see being really good, especially for that offense. Um, he could be the franchise guy, or he could be RG3 2.0, which is kind of scary to think about. Um, I just want Terry McLaurin to have a quarterback. I feel so bad for him. He has to suffer and be like a top 10 wide receiver and have just nobody's throwing to him, which really sucks. Um, it's sad, but whatever. I think they'll be all right. They might be onto something there, as long as Austin Eckler doesn't prove that he was just like a touchdown merchant in his offense. Because I don't really know. I don't know why get Austin Eckler. What's the point? What's the point of getting Austin Eckler? You have like Brian Robinson who's like 24, and I whatever. Who cares? They're probably not going to be very good this year anyway. What then? Drake May at 3. I don't even have. I probably should just pull this up. It probably makes more sense to do that. Okay, so our top four: Caleb Williams at 1, and you have Jaden Daniels at 2, Drake May in New England at 3, which I mean makes sense. They got their their white quarterback of the future, I guess. Um, and then Marvin Harrison Jr. to Arizona. Um, I I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. The Cardinals are I, I would compare them to the Spurs. Like the Spurs are always there. They're always like kind of competing, but they can't. Obviously, the Spurs did get over the hump and won a championship, but um, I don't know. The Cardinals just I don't know. Just feel bad for him. Like it's the Cardinals kind of turned into the Texans, where like obviously the Texans are good now, but like when when Texas was or Houston when Houston was bad, it was pretty much just purgatory. You got drafted there and you could be good, but there was like nothing you could do because your team was never going to be good, no matter how good you were. Um, so I don't. Sorry, I'm trying to pull up the picks. What do you got? We'll just kind of go one by one in the top 10. How about that? Um, Jay, I feel like Arizona kind of turned into that, where they're just like, hey, come play here, be really good, but we're never gonna do anything, so don't worry about it. And it's like, I don't know, I just don't want him to rot there because I don't think Kyler Murray's gonna be. He's just such a weird quarterback. Like he just looks good sometimes, and he looks like what they drafted, and then other times he just looks like I had this conversation the other day. Like, are we ready to consider Kyler Murray a bust? Like, is that a conversation we can have yet? I feel like I feel like no, because he's had good production. I just don't think he has it. Like, he just doesn't have like the that it factor. I don't know. I don't even know if that makes any sense. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't see it. I don't see how he can produce. Well, he can produce. He can put up numbers. It's just I don't think he's ever going to be able to take the Cardinals to the Super Bowl. Like I don't think he's ever more than like a second round playoff loss. I don't know, but the Cardinals are just it's just a bad situation, and it sucks for Marv. So whatever. All right. Anyway, we'll move on here. We're just gonna go through the top 10, and then if I see more picks I want to talk about, then we'll just go there. So going to number 5, Los Angeles, taking an offensive tackle, Joe Alt. Um, Makes sense. I mean, there's not too much to say here about this pick. Like, you just want to protect Justin Herbert, especially after last year, because I don't think he was 100% at any point in the season except for like week 1. So it makes sense. And then, like I said, I don't remember if Blake Corum's off the board or not, but I imagine the Cardinals will be going in that, or the Cardinals, the Chargers will be going in that direction, just because Jim Harbaugh, um, whatever, biased, and the Chargers don't seem to care, which I can understand why they don't. Um, and obviously, as an Ohio State fan, I don't like Jim Harbaugh, but as a Christian, I like Jim Harbaugh. He's I don't know. He's talked about how Michigan had like a big revival in their locker room, and I've seen him at like pro life marches and stuff. So it's pretty cool. It's nice to see. Uh, but as an Ohio State fan, it's like I don't know. I just feel indifferent now because I like him as a person, but I don't. And there's also the cheating thing. So who knows how scummy he really was in that? I don't know. I'm not gonna, whatever. It's just kind of crazy to think that like if he would have actually played Ohio State in 2020 and didn't like duck out, then he would have lost his job if he would have lost that game. So it's kind of crazy to think. But here we are. Who cares? The past is a past. Joe Alt is going to the Chargers because Herbert gets beat up really bad. And then this one is kind of funny. The Giants took Malik Neighbors, and I saw the Instagram clip of him walking up to the facility, and I've never seen somebody so disappointed to be an NFL player than him. He was so upset about going to New York. I don't know. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the Giants are doing. The Giants arguably, um, well, we'll save that. We'll save that for two picks from now, if you can guess which pick that would be. But yeah, Malik Neighbors to the Giants. I don't know. I don't know what the Giants can do anymore to be. It's like a lot of teams are switching places now. Like Houston, like I did the Houston Arizona comparison. Maybe like old Houston is more like the new Giants in a way. Or maybe Houston just created a plague and got rid of the plague and then infected Arizona, New York, and other New York almost. Both the New Yorks kind of. Um, so yeah, I don't know. Whatever. The wide receiver for some reason. Um, and I mean, another one that's not too big of a deal. The Titans taking offensive tackle J.C. Latham. It is what it is. Got to protect Will Levis. Your Ryan Tannehill Jr. Yeah, I guess is what you could call him. Got to protect him, but at the same time, uh, I mean, well, you do have a running. You got Tony Pollard for some reason. I don't know. These teams are just in such weird, like the Giants, the Titans, like, and the Cardinals. Like those three teams are just in such weird situations that I don't know what they can do anymore. Because Will Levis had obviously like a crazy first game, and then he was just kind of, eh. He was like, okay, whatever. Um, so I don't know. We'll have to see, but I guess it's smart to get a young tackle in there to protect your young quarterback. So it's fine. Um, well, let's move on to one that we're probably going to be spending some time on. The Atlanta Falcons take Michael Penix Jr. at 8. Um, I don't. I think you sum this up by showing the clip of the owner talking to the GM, asking why they just took Michael Penix. I think that's really. I think that's really the best way to sum up whatever just happened in the Falcons draft room. Um, I don't even really know what to say. Um, but I think that what I was gonna say about the Giants, I think the Giants probably should have taken Michael Penix, and I am a little bit torn on like 25-year-old, like his contract's gonna be up, or Kirk Cousins' contract is gonna be up, and he's gonna be 28 years old. Um, I I don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand what they're doing. Like, are they trying to trade him or get rid of Kirk Cousins? Like, what? I don't understand. Okay, I'm sorry. I just looked. He's turning 24 next month is what this thing says. So, um he's not as old as I thought, but still. I mean, like 4 or 5 years in college, I just feel like it makes it a lot harder when you have like once you get past 4 years in college football, I feel like it's just a lot harder to transition to the NFL game. I don't know. It could just be me. It could be just a theory I have, but I don't know. That's just my opinion of it. I feel like they probably need to get some defense in there. Like it probably would have been perfect time, which I get it. Like defense is not very big in this year's draft. Like what I think it was like 6 defensive players were taken in the first round, which is insane. So it's not very defense heavy. So I get it. You can get them later, but I don't know. If I was Atlanta and I knew that, and I was like, we only need defense, so let's move back. like just trade the pick. Just trade the pick, move back. Who cares? Get some value out of the eighth pick. Um, or I mean, maybe the Giants get draft six, and they could have tried to trade with Atlanta and then get Penix. Doesn't really matter anymore because Michael Penix is on Falcons for some reason. Uh, yeah, I mean, it's a lot easier to do that with, Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love because Jordan Love is 24. So he was drafted when he was like 20 or 21 or something like that. So, yeah, it's definitely going to be a lot harder to do something like that with a guy who's going to be like 27 when your starting quarterback's contract is up. So, I don't know. Whatever. Just Atlanta is another team. They're like those three teams I mentioned, but they're like a little bit higher up on the food chain. Like they're doing it a little bit better because realistically their offense is crazy. Like they have a really good offense. Pitts and Bijan, and then you even have like I think they still have Tyler Algier, and then I don't know if I mentioned Drake London, Kyle Pitts, Drake London, Bijan. They have there's something there for sure, and they're really not helping it with that pick. So I don't know. We're just gonna, I'm not even gonna stress about it. Then the Bears, also had another top 10 pick, uh, Rome Dunes. I don't really know how to say his name. I'll be honest, but yeah, they took Rome Dunes, and yeah, I don't know. Like I said, defense is not like you could the two like Cooper DeJean and Cooley McKistry. I thought were gonna be first round locks, and they got drafted. I think pretty early into the second round, but still, um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, get a younger guy. I mean, Keenan Allen's pretty old, and DJ Moore's about like 28, something like that. So it makes sense. I don't hate to pick. Like you get a young guy that like when those guys, because Keenan Allen realistically, I mean he only has what like 2 years left maybe before he retires. So like I get it. It's smart. It's smart to get that young guy to pair up with your young quarterback that you just drafted too. So I mean nothing crazy there. So yeah, it was a smart pick though. And then I this is very I don't know. This is a lot of bias is going to come out here. I feel like, um, but JJ McCarthy goes to Minnesota. Uh, I don't know. Whatever. I feel like I'm saying that about all these picks. I don't know. I just don't think this is a very good class. I feel like people are hyping this class up way more than it deserves to be hyped up. Um, I just don't. I don't know. I don't think this class is gonna be that crazy. And I mean, JJ McCarthy. Like I saw a meme that showed this guy dancing, and it was like JJ McCarthy getting paid first top 10 money when he knows he's a fourth round talent. And it's like, yeah, yeah, pretty much. You could have probably got JJ McCarthy in the fourth round. Um, so I don't know. Whatever. Just good for him for getting paid. I don't know. So at least he's got enough money to like retire if case this thing doesn't work out. Um, but he'll be pretty good at handing the ball off to Aaron Jones. He's gonna be good at that because that's all he really knows how to do. So yeah, I don't know. That was some bias right there. I threw in a little bias there, a little hate for JJ McCarthy. I hate JJ McCarthy like I hate Zach Eady. So there's that. Yeah. So I guess I don't know. I don't really know if there's anybody else I want to talk about. I kind of got to see. I mean, Bo Nix to Denver. Like I said, I don't. He's 24. Um, so I don't know. We'll see. I could see them going up to get somebody, or like trading up for Jaden Daniels or something like that. So I don't know. And then Brock Bowers went 13 to Vegas. Vegas is another team that probably should have. Probably should have traded up to get a quarterback, but here we are, and they didn't. Um, yeah, there's a lot of offensive linemen for sure. There's one defensive player, two defensive players in a row, three, and it was a linebacker. I didn't even know. I thought linebackers were going to be really weak this draft, but I was looking at those Edgerton Cooper highlights. Man, he looks good, like really good. Um, which is something we needed because we you lose Devondre Campbell, you need somebody to pair up with Quay, a young guy, so you can have those two. You can have those two running around the middle of the field, um, while you're playing that super aggressive defense that Jeff Halfley wants to play. So yeah, but I don't know. There's not too many, not anything else too pressing to get to in the draft. So I think we're gonna move on because we got some NBA playoffs to go over. So let's jump into that. All right, let's start with the most embarrassing of all things. I almost said the Packers. The Cavs lost by almost 40 points. Mm, I don't know. Like they obviously struggled clearly. It's been embarrassing, really. I don't I don't know what you have to do. I think they're going to be fine. They're up 2-1 still. You say that like it's detrimental, but they're up 2-1. So they're not in any harm. They just need to steal one. They absolutely have to steal one in Orlando, which they play in a little less than 2 hours. So we'll see. But I'm a little nervous to see how that's going to go because they I don't know if they don't make it out of this round, then kiss Donovan Mitchell goodbye. Really is what's going to happen. So which is going to suck because it's going to mean that it's all for nothing. I think I talked about that recently. You lose Donovan Mitchell, you stunt growth of everybody for no reason because nothing came out of Donovan Mitchell being here. So it sucks. But like I said, they're up 2-1. We're saying this like it's just the end of the world. It's not. They'll be fine. Um, but they really need to bounce back because I don't know what that was. And the only thing I guess that I could really say is Paolo had like 34, and he's still young. It's like for his first playoff series ever. So I could be extremely wrong, but I just don't feel like as a playoff rookie, if you want to call him that you can really keep that up and score that way. And I don't know. At this point, I would hope that JB could like come up with a game plan, but at this point, I don't really know if I trust JB or not. It seems like every other game, you just never know what to expect, and it sucks. So I don't know. We'll see how the game goes today, and obviously, I'm sure I'll have more to say about it on Monday or Tuesday. So I don't know. Who knows? We'll see. Um, moving on though, I'm just going off the top of my head here. I had some stuff written down, but uh, the Timberwolves went up 3-0 on the Suns, and it makes me very happy. I don't I don't know. I don't like the Suns. I don't like Kevin Durant. I've never really been a fan of Devin Booker. He's good, sure, but I don't know. Just whiny. Like I don't know. He's always talking when he's ahead. Or I don't know. That's just I don't know. He's just always talking. He's always running his mouth, and Bradley Beal's getting overpaid for what? For no reason to be the point guard, and he's not. Bradley Beal's not a point guard. So I don't know. I don't know what they're doing there. Kevin Durant's probably gonna be like, "Oh, sorry that I ruined your whole franchise. Let me go to a new team and ruin theirs." Even though I'm gonna say we're gonna win everything, and we don't. I just ruined. It's what he did to the Nets. He did it. He's doing it to the Suns. They traded. They had to get rid of DeAndre Ayton. All these, like they have nobody except for those three and Grayson Allen. Wow. Let me pause because shout out to Grayson Allen. He's, I think he has the highest 3-point percentage in the league. He has been really really good for them. So I'm not gonna disrespect Grayson Allen. Um, and obviously they have Nurkic as well. So that's a good starting five. Um, but I think more than anything, Well, I don't know. I don't know if this proves it more than anything, but I think being up 3-0 proves it more than anything that I was wrong about the Timberwolves because I didn't think they were ready. Um, but they're about it. They really are, and that's Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards is quickly becoming like he's in my top five favorite players in the league for sure. Like he is going to be a star, like a superstar, and he's already got those awesome Adidas ads out, which are really cool. They're like old school. Those are awesome. Um, so yeah, I that team's I don't know. That team's just really good. I didn't think it was gonna work, but they came in. Um, they've come in and obviously dominated a Suns team who everyone had as like championship favorites at the beginning of the season. So shout out to him. And I'm very close to buying an Anthony Edwards jersey because he's awesome, and I'm a very big jersey fan. I like wearing jerseys, and I don't like that it's. It seems like people don't like. There's something that people think there's something wrong with wearing jerseys, or like I don't know, like just regularly or whatever. And it kind of makes me upset because I enjoy wearing jerseys. So I don't know. I don't know what that was, but anyway, moving on to the next one. We'll go to the Sixers Knicks. I'm definitely rooting for the Knicks, just because I watched Villanova as a kid, and they're basically the everybody calls them like the Nova Knicks, which is really true. And I Jalen Brunson is also quickly like on the same pace as Anthony Edwards to becoming like one of my favorites in the NBA. Uh, he's I mean, I was not expecting obviously that Mavericks series when they lost Luca for that game and he dropped like 33 or whatever. You could see there was something there, but I never thought he was going to be what he is. So, I I'm really excited for them if they can win the series. I think they can do some things, and obviously like Dante DiVincenzo is also like one of the best shooters in the league. And but I mean, the thing that I did want to touch on from this series is Tyrese Maxey, and without a doubt, 100% deserves most improved player. He had to come in when Joel Embiid was out in the season and had to step into like the number one guy role, and he did it. Like he's done everything they've asked him to do and more. Um, so yeah, I don't know, just yeah, I don't think I really expected him to have the kind of potential that he has and or will show the kind of player that he can become because I didn't think he was ever going to be this good. But he's here, and now you have him as the number two again behind Joel Embiid, which arguably probably helps him even more. Um, and Joel Embiid's a different story because I Joel Embiid makes me angry, and I that's also one of the reasons I just want the Knicks to win is because I can't wait to see Joel Embiid crying again. And it's like me and my dad have the tradition every year. We always text each other to like laugh about Joel Embiid crying in the locker room or whatever. It sounds messed up, but I just don't. Yeah, I'm gonna bring him up again. I'm sorry. This is just gonna be a common theme. He's just like Zach Edey. Well, Zach Edey's just like Joel Embiid. You clearly can develop a like you clearly obviously you're an MVP. You have all the tools to score. It's just when you're using them secondary to trying to you're using your skills to draw fouls and not score. That's where the issue lies because that's just such a terrible way to play basketball. And it's the same thing with Shea, which Shea's game is more fun, obviously, just because he's not like a post player, which is, I mean, people just think that's more fun in general. Um, but Shea's the same way. It's just, it's fine to like embrace contact every once in a while, but not like to the extent that they are. It's like way, way too much. Um, so I don't know. It's whatever. I don't think the Sixers are gonna pull it off. Obviously, they were had some home cooking, so they got a game there, and it was obviously wasn't as. Well, I don't know. I don't think I saw the final score, but I don't think they blew out the Knicks or anything. I did watch the end of that game that the Knicks like pretty much stole That was crazy. I got to hear the Mike Breen bang call live, which is rare. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I'm curious to see how the rest of that series goes. And then what we only have, I think we only really have two more games that I don't know. We only have like two or three more series I want to touch on because I'm definitely missing stuff, but I feel like all the other ones aren't really that important. Um, the Nuggets. The Nuggets are probably my third favorite team at this point. Like if I had to pick a third favorite team, because I have like my top two, like the Celtics and the Cavs, just who I grew up watching. I never really there was no such thing as a third favorite team. But I think the Nuggets probably are my third favorite team if I had to choose. Um, I just Jokic is just such a fun player to watch. He's already like one of my favorite players of all time, hands down. Um, he's so it's just I got to watch him play the Cavs one of the years that he won the MVP, and like you don't even realize it, and you look up and he's got a triple double, and you're like, what? There's no way. He's just I don't know. It's just crazy to see somebody like that compete against guys who are. I mean, look at him compared to like LeBron or something. And it's just funny to put them side by side or like put the top three players in the NBA side by side, and then you like look at Jokic and you're like, that's the number one. And I feel like if nobody knew who any of those guys were, you're like, what? What are you talking about? That guy? And it's just cool to see somebody like that. And that's EuroLeague basketball, which we might do some talking about EuroLeague basketball, not like in detail, but just comparing to the NBA and stuff. Not I don't know anything about Euro basketball. I just know what I've seen from the NBA players from the that grew up playing EuroLeague basketball. Um, it clearly has uh, a different style that's starting to work a lot more. Um, but yeah, then other than that, in this series, Jamal Murray. I have a Jamal Murray jersey. I I've always liked Jamal Murray, and I think I think we all should be ready to admit that playoff Jamal Murray is a thing. Bubble Jamal Murray is like a top three player of all time if we're going like specific players. Jamal Murray in the bubble, I have never in my life seen anything like that. I watched those games live. That was like the one playoff series from the bubble that I watched constantly because I was like rooting against the Lakers. Uh, he I I don't know, but now so you have bubble Jamal Murray who's like top three of all time. Like Jamal Murray in the bubble was scary, but playoff Jamal Murray, it I don't know, just that shot. That's the shot that like I wish I could have a moment where I hit a shot like that in my life, like at any level of play. Just a little quick hard dribble, step back, fading away on Anthony Davis of all people, who just he's just like, shoot it if you want with his hand up. Didn't try to jump at him. Nothing. I don't really understand that. The Lakers are toast. The Lakers are they're done for. I can't believe anybody had any hope for them in this series. I don't know what we're talking about. Like the Nuggets have LeBron saying, "It's just basketball. It's just basketball. It's just a game." You have LeBron saying that in a press conference. You have defeated him. You've defeated that team. That team is just they're done. There's nothing left. Um, and I mean, Lakers obviously have like the second worst fan base in all of sports. So of course they thought this was their year and blah 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 blah. And it kind of sucks because they have players that I root for. Like I like Rui Hachimura and obviously D'Angelo Russell from Ohio State and stuff. I said that like nobody knows who D'Angelo Russell is, but D'Angelo Russell came from Ohio State, so you know I always root for him. Uh, I guess that's about, that's about it. I thought there was more people that I really liked on there. I guess not. Uh, or wait, I feel like I'm forgetting something. There's somebody that I like on there that I just can't think of. don't they have like a KCP type player that I really like? I don't know. I don't know. Whatever. But anyway, yeah, the Lakers are toast. And to get into the last series, I actually need to look up the score because I didn't end up. I watched some of the game, and then I didn't end up. Wow. Okay. The Pacers went up 2-1 on the Bucks. I was saying this all year. The Pacers are a team that these top like 1 through 3 seeds do not want to see. That is a team that they're going to sleep on them. They're not going to be expecting it, and then they're going to give up a game at home, and then they're going to go over there and these smaller markets with these crazy fan bases like Indiana are going to they're going to be going insane. Like it's just, and I really want it to happen because like I think it would be so funny to see Doc Rivers lose, and that signing was just so stupid to me. Like I get it, you weren't. I know the reason they fired their coach was they didn't really like even Giannis, and I think Dame might have even said it. Like they just had no idea what they were doing on defense. His defensive schemes were really bad, which is fine. I get it. Like you can fire him for that, which I'm not saying they were wrong for that. It's just look who you brought in to replace him, Doc Rivers. And I saw something. I wasn't expecting to get in this, but I'm gonna get into this a little bit. Doc Rivers, they called a top 15 head coach of all time. Are you serious? Who came up with that list? Like Doc Rivers, the one who blows 3-1 leads like it's nothing. I just it's like it's just so stupid. It makes no sense. It's like they don't. It's like the NBA has a plot against Damian Lillard to never get him a ring. He finally gets into a situation where it's like this is the team. He can do it with this team. And then they're like, "Oh, no, here's Doc Rivers." Like, what? Why? I don't I don't understand. I don't know. I I don't like Doc Rivers. Not as a person, okay? I'm going to preface this again. I say this all the time. Every time I hate on somebody, I'm only hating on them as their profession. I'm not talking about the person. Just like I talked about Jim Harbaugh earlier. I like Jim Harbaugh. I don't like Jim Harbaugh as a coach because he was at Michigan. That's it. Simple. But as a person, I like him as a person. Doc Rivers, I'm indifferent to because I don't know anything about Doc Rivers. But I'm just saying, like, it's just top 15 of all time. What are we talking about? What are we like? Seriously, I would like to see some of the coaches that have been snubbed for that list. Like I didn't look at the full list. I just saw him at 15 and was enough to make me turn off my phone. But yeah, I don't know. It's like the NBA has a plot against Damian Lillard to just never let him win a ring because he's gonna be. Because I feel like right now the consensus is Charles Barkley is the best player to never win a ring. Oh well, I guess Allen Iverson, one of the two. It's like those two. Damian Lillard, if he doesn't win a ring, he's gonna be number one. It's not even gonna be close. Because Damian Lillard, all right, I don't know. This might sound crazy, but I'm gonna say it because I think it's true. Damian Lillard is better than Allen Iverson at this point. I'm sorry. Maybe recency bias, maybe not. I don't know. Damian Lillard is better than Allen Iverson. And it's not fair. It's not fair to him. I like Dame. I've never really went to bat for Dame this hard because I don't. I like Dame. I don't like. I'm not like a. I'm not a fan. I'm like, I'll root for Dame, but I'm not like a passionate like Damian Lillard's not in like my top 10 favorite players in the NBA. Like I don't really care that much about him. It's just sad to see such a great player be screwed over so many times. And obviously, I'm talking like they're losing the series, so I'm kind of overreacting a little bit. But if I'm the Bucks, I should be overreacting right now too because you're down 2-1 to the Pacers. But like I said, I've been saying it all year. That is a team that you don't want to see in the playoffs if you're one of those seeds because you're gonna sleep on them and you're not gonna expect it, and you're gonna end up losing a series because you're just not prepared, and you think that it's gonna be a cakewalk, and it's not. But yeah, and then like that, the addition of Pascal Siakam to that team was I'm not saying that like he had a crazy game because I didn't really look at the stats, but it's just such a great addition because if Tyrese Halliburton is not shooting well or guys are missing shots and things like that, like if you can't run the offense through Tyrese, then you have somebody who can create his own shot and obviously he plays in the front court, so you keep him. It's not like your spacing's off or anything. You can throw him down in like the short corner and just let him work or wherever, like the free throw line or at the top of the key, get him downhill and keep everybody out of the way. It's just such a help. It's like Donovan Mitchell going to the Cavs. It's like you had this team who is good, but it's only when they're good. Like if they're struggling, they can't win games, and that's when you need a player like Donovan Mitchell to step in and be able to score. He's literally designed. He is made. He has trained to score. That is his job. Um, and a player like that wins you playoff series. Like it's just how it works. Um, so it's kind of the same thing. So yeah, I don't know. The playoffs have been interesting though. I wasn't expecting them to be as good as they are. Uh, and oh, that was the other one. Sorry, I forgot. Boston Boston lost one to Miami, and everyone freaked out about it. And they're like, "Uh oh, uh oh." I think did they play last night? They played last night. I don't know who won. I didn't do a lot of research before today. Oh no, it's still 1-1. They play. When's game three? Is that tonight? Oh yeah, it's today at 8 or 6. Sorry. Playoff games are really weird this year. At times, like the Cavs play at 1 today. Um, but anyway, yeah, I think people are overreacting. And I don't. How's that game even at 1-1? Well, shouldn't they? I thought they should have played yesterday. I don't know. I don't know. Whatever. Um, but yeah, I don't know. The playoffs are interesting, and I definitely need to watch more games. I kind of just turn them on. I'm like, hey, there might be a playoff game on right now. I'm not like, let me watch the playoffs. I don't know why. Um, but yeah, I don't know. The playoffs have been pretty interesting. It's cool to see all these teams that everyone thought were going to be good, and the teams that nobody thought were going to be good, like the Timberwolves. Which, to be fair, that was at the beginning of the year. Nobody thought they were going to be good, but by the middle of the season, they were like firmly in second place in the West of all places. So everybody kind of knew what was going on at that point. So yeah, that's it for the playoffs, though. I'm excited to keep going. I'll probably have more to talk about on Monday. So yeah. All right, and with that, we are closing episode four. Episode four. Look at that. Again, sorry about the delay. Thanks for sitting with me through all that. If you watched all the way through, I appreciate it. Yeah, feel free to spread to your friends if you like it. And, try to get something going here. Yeah, this has been awesome. I'm so glad I'm doing this in general. Even though it's been stressful, right off the bat. But we're here. We're getting somewhere. We're gonna figure it out. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. See you in the next one. God bless. See you guys.